The last letter from London. The rain had not stopped over London for 3 days when Eleanor Whitmore found the letter tucked behind the loose brick in her grandmother's fireplace. It was addressed to a name she had never heard before: Thomas Ashworth, Baker Street, 1962. Eleanor had come to clear out the old house in Chelsea after her grandmother's passing. The room still smelled of lavender and old books, the kind of silence that only exists in homes where someone has lived for 60 years and left everything exactly where it belonged. She sat by the window, the grey London sky pressing against the glass, and opened the envelope with trembling hands. "My dearest Thomas," it began, "if you are reading this, then I never found the courage to send it while I was alive. I have loved you since the day we met at Paddington Station, both of us running for trains going in opposite directions. I let you go because I was afraid. I have spent 40 years wondering what my life would have been had I simply said the words instead of writing them." The letter was signed, not with her grandmother's married name, but with her maiden name: Margaret Hale. Eleanor sat frozen. Her grandmother had been married to her grandfather for 53 years. A quiet, steady marriage, or so everyone believed. She turned the letter over. On the back, in her grandmother's careful handwriting, was an address in Edinburgh, written just months before she died. The next morning, Eleanor boarded a train north, the same journey her grandmother must have once imagined taking. Scotland unfolded outside the window, green hills swallowed by mist, stone cottages standing quiet against the wind. The address led to a small bookshop on a narrow cobblestone street. An elderly man stood behind the counter, his hand steady despite his age, arranging first editions with the care of someone who had done it 1,000 times. "I'm looking for Thomas Ashworth," Eleanor said. The man looked up slowly. His eyes, pale blue and searching, studied her face as though he were looking at a ghost. "You have her eyes," he whispered. "Margaret's eyes." Eleanor placed the letter on the counter between them. Thomas did not open it immediately. He simply stared at the handwriting, decades of longing written across his weathered face. "She wrote to me every year," he finally said, "and never once sent a single letter. I always wondered if she thought of me." "She never stopped," Eleanor said softly. Outside, the Edinburgh rain began to fall, soft and steady, much like the London rain Eleanor had left behind. 2 cities, 1 love story, and a silence that had finally, after 60 years, come to an end. Thomas opened the letter with shaking hands, and for the first time in decades, he smiled. The end.